Good evening. Welcome to the Tupelo City Council meeting of May the 1st, 2018. The invocation tonight will be by Councilwoman Nettie Davis, the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Willie Jennings. If you could all please stand.
Tonight, our invocation will be by Robert Trice, former mayor of Verona. He's a friend of ours, and we just so happy to have him here tonight to pray with us.
I guess you don't want me to go behind. Take your Bible out now. Honorable Mayor Shelton and council persons, cabinet staff and citizens, and I want to thank Ms. Davis for this invitation to participate in this invocation. The Bible said that men ought to always pray. Amen. And not to faint. But let me just say this. I see you all standing. We stand in a minute, Honorable Mayor, after we do the honoring this our nation flag. I would respectfully ask you to dismiss me. Before I pray, let me just say this. It's not necessarily the position of your body when you pray. You can be on your knees. You can be prostrate on the floor. You can fold your hands. You can close your eyes. You can do whatever you do. That's not what matters. So it's not the position of your body, but it's the condition of your heart. Man. That's what counts. If your heart's not right, it doesn't matter what position your body's in. Yeah. Having said that, y'all pray with me. Yeah. God our Father, which art in heaven, in the name of your Son, Jesus the Christ, our Savior and Lord, it's his name that we come in tonight, Master, this evening, thanking you for your tender mercy, your grace, your love and kindness, even the forgiveness of sin. We pray that you would bless this board meeting tonight, this council meeting. Bless them very good in a very special way. Bless the mayor and the council person, and open minds and hearts that they may be pleasing to what you have ordained them to do. Bless this city in a very special way, her and her citizens. Whatever they do, if they be successful at it, I pray that they won't try to claim in the credit. Because by now, Master, they should know that they can't do anything without you but fail. Keep them in your arms of protection. Keep them from all hurt, harm, and danger. Now, as we go on to live our life, we pray that you would bless the city of Tupelo. Bless the city of Verona, the county of Lee, and the United States of America. We pray this prayer in the name of your Son, Jesus the Christ. And all that love him said, amen, 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 amen. Amen.
At this time, I would like to introduce 2503 Troop to come up and do the pledge. Y'all can do it how you want, face the flag. Come on around. Face the flag. Okay. Attention.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I'll officially call this meeting to order, and I'll ask Vice President Travis Beard to confirm or amend the agenda and the agenda order.
I move to amend the agenda by adding 2 items to the agenda. Item 5.1b, public hearing regarding lot mowing of properties, and also item 7.14, review, approve, reject the final lot mowing list.
Second. Have a motion by Councilman Travis Beard and a second by Councilman Buddy Palmer. Any questions or comments? All in favor? The agenda is set. We'll move to proclamation, recognition, reports agenda. 4.1, recognition of Boy or Girl Scouts. I don't think we have any Boy Scouts tonight, but we have some pretty Girl Scouts.
Yay.
Troop 2503, as I call your name, would you please stand? Lauren Atterbury, Jazia Ford, hope I'm saying that right. Kimber Williams, that's the prettiest one of all. Bianca Lewis, and their troop leader is Hazel Renee Triplett. Thank you guys for, okay. Say that one more time. Azacia Berry. Thank you guys for coming. We'll move to 4.2, recognition of city employees.
There are none tonight.
And right before we move into 4.3, I think we have a little video of this past weekend. This is the 10 for Tupelo that went on this weekend, and we picked up a lot of trash. Thank you, and thank the Rotary Club of Tupelo for sponsoring this. And I think we had, Alicia, was it 600 volunteers?
I think so.
Had about 600 volunteers, and that's the Tupelo spirit at work. We'll move to 4.3, public recognitions, and we'll start down with Mr. Lynn Bryan.
I don't have anything.
Ms. Nettie?
Well, I always would think this is a very special day, Mother's Day, and we wish all of the mothers a happy Mother's Day, because before the next meeting, it would have already been that very special day. And I'd like to give a shout out to Tim for Tupelo. That was really great. I believe it's the biggest turnout that they've ever had. And there's another event coming up. I wish I had a flyer for Santana, who's doing a special event on violence. What date is that on? May 12th, and they will have a parade and some other activities down at Gumtree Park, so the public is invited to attend this.
Thank you. Mr. Beard?
I'll just give a shout out to all the neighborhood associations that organized to clean up in the neighborhoods. I know we had a lot of volunteers that did a lot of work, especially in our neighborhood. Chris is here tonight, and she kind of handled our neighborhood. Just thank you to the citizens for being part of our cleanup effort.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes, I too would like to echo what Ms. Nettie and Travis said about 10 for Tupelo. It was the very best organized litter pickup thing that I've seen, and we used to have one beautiful storm shelter in Tupelo, and now we have two. We have one in Ward 5 that looks almost as good as Ms. Nettie's. And also, I'd like to remind everybody that Thursday here at Fair Park at noon will be a National Day of Prayer. Correct in that.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Mr. Jennings?
Also, I would like to make an announcement on this coming Thursday, May the 3rd, Change the Change, Break the Change, 6-week class. We're going to have one of our very own, Ms. Purnell, and Ms. Moore will be teaching that class on Dressed for Success at the Boys and Girls Club in Haven Acres. Inviting anyone who want to come out, please come out at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael, I failed to mention, need to thank Catherine, Ray, and Jesse for coordinating these efforts that made our event on Saturday a success.
Thank you so much. They did a great job. We'll move to 4.4, proclamation recognizing National Garden Week. Mayor?
Thank you. Do we have a representative from the Garden Club? Do you have Miss Debbie? I think you've got a farmer's market. I think that's close enough. At this time, on behalf of the council, the administration, and the city of Tupelo, it's my honor to issue the following proclamation of National Garden Week. Whereas the gardeners of this country produce a multitude of foods for our people and enable us to export foods to other countries that are in desperate need, and our gardeners help to preserve and foster our traditional spirit of independence and individual initiative. Whereas gardening, in addition to being most beneficial for our country, furnishes a pleasant and productive full-time or part-time activity for a large number of citizens, and our gardens also yield flowers of great variety and breathtaking beauty. Therefore, on behalf of the city of Tupelo, I do hereby proclaim the week of June 3rd and ending June 9th, 2018 as National Garden Week in the city of Tupelo, and encourage all of our citizens to observe the same. Thank you, Ms. Debbie. Okay.
I didn't know I'd have this opportunity, but on behalf of the Tupelo Garden Club, I accept this proclamation, and the Farmers Depot will open on Mother's Day weekend, so that kicks off our season. And also, the Tupelo Garden Club will have a special gift for our community on the opening day of the Tupelo Elvis Festival downtown. So look forward to the surprise.
We'll move to 4.5, recognition of the Department of U.S. Veterans Affairs.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to have a series of individuals to come up. These certificates, and I won't read the cover letter on each one of the certificates, but recently the city of Tupelo supported Operation Grateful Nation to honor our Vietnam veterans. This event was coordinated on behalf or by the Sonny Montgomery VA Medical Center. They brought probably around 100 or so veterans up to Tupelo, and among other things, they made a stop, and we had a program at the Vietnam Memorial Wall at Veterans Park. So it was just a great event, great day. The weather cooperated right up until the end, so we were able to have the program, and they were able to get out and see names that they knew and have that experience. Of course, Veterans Park, while it's a tribute to our veterans, and especially those who made the ultimate sacrifice, is a park. So at this time, I'd ask Mr. Alex Farned to please come forward. On behalf of the Department of Veterans Affairs, it's my honor and privilege to present this certificate of appreciation to Director Alex Farned and Tupelo Parks and Recreation. When Vietnam veterans returned home, they were not welcomed with open arms like our soldiers are today. They returned to their country with many physical and psychological disabilities that would go unnoticed for years. Your contributions and outstanding service in support of our first Operation Grateful Nation to help honor the Vietnam veterans who participated in the 50th Vietnam War commemorative event is greatly appreciated. Signed, David Walker, on behalf of the Sonny Montgomery VA Medical Center in Jackson, Mississippi. Thank you, Alex. Chief Barta Gary. It's my honor and privilege on behalf of the Department of Veterans Affairs to present to you the following certificate of appreciation to Chief Barta Gary and the Tupelo Police Department. When Vietnam veterans returned home, they were not welcomed with open arms like soldiers are today. They returned to their country with many physical and psychological disabilities that would go unnoticed for years. Your contributions and outstanding service in support of our first Operation Grateful Nation to help honor the Vietnam veterans who participated in the 50th Vietnam War commemorative event is greatly appreciated. Signed, David Walker, Medical Center Director. Thank you, Chief. Ms. Alicia Faulkner, you going to be able to film and accept an award at the same time?
Well, we might can do a selfie.
It's my honor to issue the same or similar certificate of appreciation to Alicia Faulkner as Communications Director of the City of Tupelo. When Vietnam veterans returned home, they were not welcomed with open arms like soldiers are today. They returned to their country with many physical and psychological disabilities that would go unnoticed for years. Your contributions and outstanding service in support of our first Operation Grateful Nation to help honor the Vietnam veterans who participated in this 50th Vietnam War commemorative event is greatly appreciated. Signed, David Walker. Thank you, Alicia. Mr. Don Lewis. Of course, Don has worked on this project longer than any of us. He was there from the inception of the project to see it all the way through to completion. So in very real terms, the wall would likely not be there but for his efforts and that of the Veterans Council and the private and public partnerships that made it possible. But it's my honor at this time to issue the same, or present the same certificate of appreciation to Mr. Don Lewis, Chief Operations Officer of the City of Tupelo. When Vietnam veterans returned home, they were not welcomed with open arms like soldiers are today. They returned to their country with many physical and psychological disabilities that would go unnoticed for years. Your contributions and outstanding service in support of our first Operation Grateful Nation to help honor the Vietnam veterans who participated in this 50th Vietnam War commemorative event is greatly appreciated. Signed, David M. Walker, Medical Center Director, the Sonny Montgomery VA Medical Center, Jackson, Mississippi. Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Is that it, Mayor?
Yes.
We'll move to 4.6, proclamation recognizing Municipal Clerks Week.
Ms. Kim Hanna? I get to brag on Kim, Ms. Hanna, all the time about her work as the CFO of the City of Tupelo, the work as budget and accounting of making us all look good when we have the audits and not that bad. But making us look good from the financial aspects of the city's budget. We often overlook that for a city to function, while a mayor can miss the board meeting, or, we have a special election in the absence of a mayor. Similarly with a council member, a city cannot function without a municipal clerk. The clerk makes everything we do official. It's her responsibility to make sure everything we're doing is in accordance with state laws. So I'm proud at this time on behalf of the council and administration and City of Tupelo to issue the following proclamation of Municipal Clerks Week. Whereas the office of the municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and the office is the oldest among public servants. The office of the municipal clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and the agencies of government at other levels. Whereas municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality in rendering equal services to all. The municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and the community. The municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of municipal clerk. Therefore, on behalf of the City of Tupelo, I do hereby recognize the week of May 6 through May 12, 2018 as Municipal Clerks Week in Tupelo, Mississippi, and further extend appreciation to our municipal clerk, Ms. Kim Hanna, and all municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities that they represent. Thank you, Ms. Hanna.
We'll move to 4.7, recognition of Real Men Stand Up Mother-Son Banquet.
Thank you. At this time, could I ask Mr. Josh Williams, and I'm not sure who else may be coming up, but I'm going to defer to Mr. Williams at this time.
Thank you, Mayor. Before we give our thanks, I want to get all our young men and my brothers to come up. Tonight, on behalf of Real Men Stand Up, we do want to inform the city about an event that we do have coming up, the Mom and Son Dinner, which will be our third annual Mom and Son Dinner. But before we get into that, I would like to just say thank you on behalf of Real Men Stand Up for the support that the city has shown us in our program, helping us get started, and even backing us the whole way. So we do want to thank you, and I think it's best for us to do it as a group because that's what we try to represent. Real Men Stand Up. So we stand up together and we say thank you together. My brother Tyson is passing out just some small tokens of our appreciation, some wristbands that we give out at most of our events. And it's just, again, we just want to say thank y'all so much for the support of the city and the support of the council and especially Mayor Shelton for the support that y'all have shown to Real Men Stand Up. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll move to 4.8, the long-awaited mayor's report.
Thank you. I appreciate the introduction. As usual, a lot of the things I was going to mention or will mention have been covered in the public announcements of various council members. Do want to mention the Blue Suede Cruise is this weekend. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. Last year we had a record number of vehicles and participants. This has turned or developed from kind of a local car show or just a fun weekend to a major event or a major weekend for the city of Tupelo. It's a huge quality of life event and also an economic driver, bringing in so many people all weekend long. Pick It Up Tupelo or 10 for Tupelo, Keep Tupelo Beautiful was mentioned several times. That was just an outstanding event, and as you saw in the video. We heard from Real Men Stand Up. Just want to give an additional kind of shout out to these guys. While most of the leaders of Real Men Stand Up are city employees or affiliated with the city, this is a private initiative that they're doing on their own time and their own efforts, their own volition to build a better city, to build a better community, and we're certainly grateful for what you do. Debbie was up here a second ago, and I won't ask her to come back up, but just great things continue to happen with the work and efforts of the Downtown Main Street Association. We were a top 3. We were a finalist for the Great American Main Street Award. We didn't top 10, and we didn't quite win this year, but I think we'll win in the future. But the Tupelo Elvis Festival that we're also proud of coming up in June was recently awarded or named an official Southern Travel Treasure from the AAA Southern Traveler. So the awards and accolades just continue to come in for the Elvis Festival that she works in her department, works so hard on. Additionally, Downtown Tupelo is an Independent We Stand and Main Street America quarterfinalist to win $25,000 for being the best Main Street. If folks at home and everybody here could help us, you can vote once every 24 hours from the link on the Downtown Tupelo Association's Facebook page to help us advance to the next round. Ms. Nettie beat me to it, but Ms. Nettie, or Councilwoman Davis, can you please join me at this time?
Oh, okay.
Councilwoman Davis mentioned that Mother's Day is coming up and will be here before our next council meeting. So we did, on behalf of the city of Tupelo, certainly want to thank and offer our love and appreciation for all the wonderful moms out there that do such a fantastic job of making us who we are. Other council members, not to ignore everybody else, but Ms. Councilwoman Davis is the only fitting honoree of this award on the council. So at this time, I'd like to issue the following certificate of appreciation to Councilwoman Nettie Davis. The mayor and the city council of Tupelo, Mississippi extend their deepest appreciation for you and all mothers. We appreciate all of the hard work that mothers do each day that often go unnoticed. Happy Mother's Day, Councilwoman Davis.
Thank you so much.
That would conclude my report at this time.
At this time, we'll close the regular meeting and open up the public agenda. 5, public agenda. 5.1, public hearings. 5.1A, public hearing regarding demolition of properties. Is anyone here to speak to the demolition of properties? No one here. We'll move to 5.2, citizens' hearings.
We don't have 5.1B. Yep. We added 5.1B.
A lot mowing.
A lot more.
I'm sorry, I was correct. 5.1B is public hearing regarding lot mowing of properties. Is anyone here to speak to lot mowing of properties?
We got some of them here.
Yes. Come state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes.
My name is James Knowles. My address My name is James Knowles. My address is 129 Montana Drive, Verona, Mississippi. And what I got here is delinquent property about some land I have in Belgium, but I don't have my right documents, but I believe that someone purchased that on a tax lien. Someone from Union County. So I've been charged to remove a trailer that's sitting on that property.
Which property are you speaking about?
In Belgium, at on Walsh Road,
Is that 3405?
3405 Walsh Road.
That's the demolition.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, that's the demolition.
So I'm out of turn?
No, that's fine.
But my thing is, I believe that someone from Union County bought the property on a tax lien, but I got to go back and check my records to make sure. So I need a little more time.
If you'll see the gentleman in the back, Mr. Shane Hooper, I think he can help you with that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Now we'll move to 5.2, citizens' hearings.
Mr. President, I have Chris Van Horn here that would like to speak and address the council. She was not on the original list, and there's been some mishandling of information. I guess she sent faxed a document in to the city and received notification back that it was received, but our secretary has not been made aware that where the documents are going now. I think there's been a change in the telephone number or where that document actually ends up now. So I'd like to suspend the rules and allow her to speak.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Travis Beard and a second by Councilman Buddy Palmer to suspend the rules and allow her to speak. All in favor? If you'll come to the podium, you'll have state your name and address, and you'll have 5 minutes, please.
I'd like to thank the council for suspending their rules for me.
Pull that mic down just a little bit. Okay.
Okay. And I'd also like to thank Travis for the kind words about our work at our neighborhood, but it was Dana Walker and Thomas that really put it all together, and we did a good job. If someone would have inquired, my name is Chris Van Horn. I live at Hill Place at 2416 William Drive. If someone would have inquired how I would be spending my retirement, starting a neighborhood association was not on the list. Instead, I find a great deal of my time is trying to solve problems and neighbors' concerns and visiting many of our ill, hoping someone will return a phone call or a message from the many that I make. I was here about 6 months ago, and since I was here, we have had, I believe you have changed how often you could speak at council. You must have known I would be here every meeting if allowed. I have not forgotten my neighbors' concerns, and that's why I'm here tonight. Let's see. I hadn't heard anything from the council about our concerns about the residents' homes. So I've been calling the police due to an incident in our neighborhood and got no information. I went to zoning and called them, and I was given no information. A council member suggested that the city lawyer was working on this problem, and I called him, but I didn't get an answer. I requested a meeting at my home so residents could voice their concerns, and I didn't get a call back. Now there are 4 homes in our neighborhood, and I've been encouraged to believe new ordinances need to be made to be established to set some guidelines for these. We're going to lose residents in our town if we don't listen to the residents and their concerns. None of our concerns have been addressed. Instead, at a recent meeting, a resident was told not to talk about it. Isn't this why we have associations, to listen to the concern? As a victim of crime 27 years ago, safety for all is my #1 concern. You see, I didn't listen back then to a voice that was warning me not to park somewhere in downtown Akron, Ohio, and I paid a heavy price. That same voice is telling me not to give up. A state representative has told me not to give up. In December, 7 police cars and an ambulance responded to a call that a man who had been in our neighborhood all night was wandering. I believe he was from one of these homes, but I cannot prove it because I don't get any answers. This went on while children were waiting for school buses. Our residents have had to assist in securing patients in a wheelchair because the worker couldn't pull them up. A patient had to be pulled out of the mud in a riding wheelchair. And one day, there was, right after trash day on a Friday, there was trash everywhere, all over the ground and in the driveway, so in the neighborhood of that home. A resident has asked if the workers could please park in a different area so they can get out of their drive. No response. Workers have male visitors visiting them at night, while their patients sometimes are wandering from home. Each home has 2 to 3 workers per shift. There are, I haven't figured out yet, 2 or 3 shifts. That's a lot of non-residents driving and speeding through our neighborhood. Several times I'm almost threw up my hands, but the residents want to be heard, and I'd like to ask, what are you going to do? Hill Place is waiting to hear. Thank you for letting me talk tonight.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Councilman, can I ask you a question while she's here? I'm listening to her. She said she didn't get no answer before. I think we owe it to that community to meet and get her some answers. Because I'm concerned about those types of homes. They're in the dark of who's staying in those homes and what they're doing. They feel unsafe. We owe it to the citizens to answer their questions. And I'm asking the council and the administration that we come together. And I heard a few questions now, but I would like to meet with the administration and the council to voice those concerns in that.
I believe we have
When we have a meeting.
we have one scheduled soon, and be glad to discuss that too.
Because that is a great concern of them, and I know we all got her same concern. We just need to give us some answers in that community.
Okay. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
Now we'll close our public agenda and open our regular session. The action agenda, 6.1, review, adopt, reject resolution granting exemption ad valorem taxes to Cooper Tire and Rubber Company.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Lynn Bryan and a second by Councilman Buddy Palmer. This is something that we do for a lot of our industries in the exemption of ad valorem taxes, and Cooper Tire is one of our larger employers here in the city. Any questions or comments? All in favor? We'll move to 7, the routine agenda. 7.1, review, approve, reject minutes of the April 17th, 2018 regular city council meeting.
I move that we would approve the minutes of April the 17th,
Second.
2018.
Have a motion by Councilwoman Eddie Davis, a second by Councilman Travis Beard. Any questions or comments? All in favor? 7.2, review, approve, reject advertising and promotional expense list.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Travis Beard and a second by Councilman Willie Jennings. And tonight we're approving for the retirees a $200 Kentucky Derby party and Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal Park and Rec registration. Any questions or comments? All in favor? 7.3, review and pay bills.
I move we pay the bills.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Buddy Palmer and a second by Councilman Lynn Bryan. And tonight the bills were paid by myself, Buddy Palmer, Travis Beard, under the management of Johnny Timmons and Missy Shelton. Any questions or comments? All in favor? 7.4, review, approve, reject final demolition list.
I move with, so move.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilwoman Eddie Davis and a second by Councilman Lynn Bryan. And tonight we're approving the demolition of 3405 Walsh Road and 2165 Hutchison Street. Any questions or comments?
I got a question. The guy that, that was James Knowles that was here, so I guess, is that the same, one and the same? James and Lewis?
Did he represent Louise?
What we have with that gentleman is that's going to be a situation where when we try to find everybody who has a stake in the property, sometimes the tax rolls tend to reflect past owners, and that gentleman is a past owner. We will continue, he has, we have a meeting set up and we will continue to communicate with him, but he is concerned only from the standpoint of us not sending him any more communication about the property because quite frankly, he doesn't own the property anymore.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
So do we need to still go ahead with that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So is Louise the owner? Hello?
This is why.
President Woody,
Yes.
if I may, on some of the properties, they are, you have to give a notice to all the interested parties. And that includes people that may have purchased the taxes for a year. It may include an estate that has been set up. In this particular case, an estate has not been set up. And so all of the known and unknown heirs at law of Miss Louise Knowles were noticed in the paper. And before we go and tear down a house, we need to make sure that everybody that might claim an interest in it are given adequate notice.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor? 7.5, review, approve, reject the proposed budget calendar for fiscal year 2019.
I move that we would approve the budget, proposed budget for 2019.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilwoman Nettie Davis and a second by Councilman Buddy Palmer. This is the budget calendar that we're approving tonight for 2019. It's a routine matter that we do every year prior to the budget process. Any questions or comments? All in favor? 7.6, review, reject, accept request from Ridgeway residents for recognition of a neighborhood association.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Travis Beard and a second by Councilman Willie Jennings. This neighborhood is in Ward 1. They've always had a great homeowners association, and now they've applied to be a neighborhood association. And I think that's what makes Tupelo strong, the more neighborhood associations we can have. Any questions or comments? All in favor? 7.7, review, accept, reject appointment of an at-large member of the Tupelo Police Advisory Board.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Lynn Bryan and a second by Councilwoman Nettie Davis. Mayor?
Thank you. At this time, it's my honor and privilege to introduce Mr. Marcus McCoy. If you mind, please stand here just briefly. He's proud to have him here with us today. Proud to nominate him for this packet. I'm looking, there we go. He is, I may not have mentioned this to the council. Let me start from the beginning. I first met Marcus in elementary school where he and I played for Coach Buddy Palmer on the city championship football team. And then we also played football together in high school. But since then, he went on and joined the United States Air Force, was stationed at Langley Air Force Base, and also served with the 185th Unit of the Army National Guard. He's a local realtor with Caldwell Banker Real Estate. He also works as a team leader at Toyota Manufacturing and is the president of the trustee board and serves on the steward board at Popular CME Church in Saltillo. I think he'll do an excellent job and would respectfully request the confirmation of his nomination at this time.
Any questions or comments?
Yes, Mayor, am I to understand he was a member of the Longhorn Colts?
Yes,
The
sir.
championship?
Yes, sir, the
I
championship.
appreciate that.
I want to get that championship in.
That's right, that's right.
I just want to say that I'm proud to see Marcus be appointed to this police advisory board, and I know he'll do a super job because he's a great young man, and I've known him for a long time.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor? We'll move to 7.8, Review, award, reject Public Works bid 1513 PW for infrared pavement restoration, 12-month bid.
Move that we accept the bid.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Travis Beard and a second by Councilman Willie Jennings. This is a routine 12-month bid that we do every year for the infrared pavement. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Review, award, reject Public Works bid number 1512 PW for hot mix supply, 12-month bid.
I move we award this Public Works bid.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Buddy Palmer, a second by Councilman Travis Beard. Again, this is a routine 12-month bid that we do every year. Any questions or comments? All in favor? 7.10, review, award, reject the following Water and Light Department bid. Bid A would be 1504 WL Fiber Project Materials, 12-month bid.
Move that we accept the bid.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Travis Beard and a second by Councilwoman Eddie Davis. Mr. Timmons, you just want to, I know these are routine 12-month bids, but the viewing public would like to see your face.
Well, you're doing a good job. Like I said, first bid was 1504 Water and Light. It's for fiber optic material, and I would recommend you to the low best bid of Stuart C. Irby and Utilicore.
Any question?
Is that local?
Yes, sir. Stuart C. Irby on Crossover Road. Yes, sir.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Review, award, reject the following Water and Light Department bid. Bid number 1505 WL Concrete Poles, 12-month bid.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Lynn Bryan and a second by Councilman Travis Beard. Mr. Timmons?
Right. Bid number 1505 is for concrete poles that we use in the distribution system across the city. And again, I recommend to you the lowest and best bid of Stress Creek.
Any questions or comments? All in favor? Review, award, reject the following Water and Light Department bids. Number 1506 WL Wooden Utility Poles.
I move that we would award 1506 WL utility poles.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilwoman Eddie Davis, a second by Councilman Willie Jennings. Mr. Timmons?
Bid number 1506 is for wooden poles that we use again in the distribution system, and I would recommend lowest and best bid of Thomason Lumber Company.
Johnny, what's the difference in the wood pole and the concrete?
Well,
I know it's a difference. Let me rephrase that question.
price.
Let me rephrase the question.
Price more than anything. Again, we get what we call a 90-year life out of the concrete. We don't have the rotting problems and the stress, on these things. So.
And how long on the other one?
30 years on a wooden pole.
So.
But we're slowly transitioning out of the wood poles.
Okay.
We're going to steel and concrete, but we still have a need for wood poles.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Review, award, reject the following Water and Light Department bids. Bid number 1507 WL Water Materials, 12-month bid.
I move we award this bid.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Buddy Palmer and a second by Councilman Lynn Bryan. Johnny?
And bid 1507 is for water materials. Again, this is everything we use in the water system across the city of Tupelo. We actually had two low best bids on this. The first would be Core and Main, and the second bidder, low and best bid, was Consolidated Pipe.
Any questions or comments? All in favor? Review, award, reject the following Water and Light Department bids. Bid number 1508 WL Water and Sewer Pipe, 12-month bid.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Travis Beard and a second by Councilman Willie Jennings. Mr. Timmons?
Bid number 1508 is for sewer pipe that we use in the sewer system of the city of Tupelo. And I recommend to you the lowest and best bid of Southern Pipe, which is a local company.
Any questions or comments? All in favor? Mr. Timmons has a lot going on with the light synchronization and the meter change out, so I wanted everybody to see your face. 7.11, review, approve, reject the closeout and final change order directive for the Tupelo Convention and Visitors Bureau Improvements Project.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Lynn Bryan and a second by Councilman Travis Beard. Neil, are you here to share some good news?
Thank you. It's my pleasure to come before you and present to you a final closeout on our renovation of the Convention and Visitors Bureau project. The total contract cost on the renovation was $1.279 million, and at this time we're closing out the construction at a price of $1.263. So we're going to get a credit back of $16,000. Want to thank Pryor Morrow, our architect firm that led us through this project. Rudd Robinson's with me today, and then also Murphy and Sons, who is the general contractor. And not only are we getting a credit back, but we moved in 2 weeks early on this project, so it was well worth the time and effort.
Thanks for the good news. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, the only comment I'd like to make is it's not very often that we get our projects come in ahead of schedule and under budget. I think that Rudd and his staff and Murphy and Sons deserve credit for getting that taken care of.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Thank you, Neil. 7.12, review, approve, reject request to surplus a 2014, and I think it should be a 2004, Stihl handheld blower, serial number 262041609, to sell at the auction.
I move that we would approve request to surplus a 2004 handheld blower.
Is this just something that we just missed to have a small item like that? Oh, anybody?
Chuck, you want to answer that?
Is this just something that we just missed adding on before, or you just?
Yes, sir. That's all it is. We're just trying to clean up our records.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we got our auction list back and realized this went through.
Oh,
There's usually a big pile of them, and it's hard to
yeah, okay.
miss one every now and then.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor? 7.13, review, approve, reject the Park and Recreation Department's request to accept the donation of 2 armchairs from Independent Furniture Supply and American Furniture.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Willie Jennings and a second by Councilman Buddy Palmer. This is a donation by Independent Furniture and American Furniture of 2 recliners for the storm shelters. Is that right, Alex? Okay. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Item 7.14, review, approve, reject the final lot mowing list.
So moved.
I think there would be one exception to the list. 24738 is the number, 339 North Madison Street. I think that that property has been cleaned up as of today.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move my motion, change my motion to exclude that property.
We will exclude the property number 9, and we have a motion by Councilman Buddy Palmer and a second by Councilman Travis Beard. Any questions or comments?
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
It would be, I bet it's a shame, sir. This question was asked to me, and the only way I get an answer is on new construction, when they do in the lot, new construction, say building a home, it's same things apply while they're building a home as would if it was an empty lot or somebody staying there while they're working on that property.
Yes, sir. The expectation on construction property is the same expectation that we have on any other property in the city limits of Tupelo. We encourage the building and new construction in Tupelo. However, we have to do everything in the right way.
Would that fall on the construction person to take care of that, or the person that's actually having the home built?
It would fall on whoever owns the property.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Chairman, all right, so we excluded, what is it, 339 North Madison, A
Yes.
and B?
Yes.
And we have verification that that has been cleaned up.
We have an email that was received today at 5:05 from Cora Ward.
Okay, so the building inspector, our
Right.
code enforcement, okay.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor? We'll move to 8, the study agenda. Review, discuss the abandonment of a small section of the right-of-way located on Willie Moore Road.
Move it up.
Move it up.
We'll move that item up. We'll move to 9, executive session. There are no items unless, Ben, you...
No, sir.
Then we'll move to 10, adjournment. Have a motion by Councilman Buddy Palmer and a second by the entire council. The Tupelo City Council is adjourned.